cares about is money, getting tourists in, wrecking the island. Her suburban coffee shop destroys Athel's harmony. Awkwardly dragging the paintings, we ran all the way to the captain's, where Camille was a well-known regular. Soon as he saw us, he laid a pint of porter in front of her. Breathlessly, Camille begged, "You said you might be interested in my paintings of Athel. They range from 3 to 5 guineas. Without so much as a look at them, he put down a few guineas. I'll put this painting over the bar. It'll be a definite conversation piece. Don't worry about that." And we were thinking the price of it now. So Camille painted steadily, her lifestyle the talk of the island as much as her paintings. Late at night, once the kids were in bed, Camille cajoled me. "Let's go down to Kiel Harbor for fresh fish. I'm sick of that van selling nothing but grey mutton and liver. And I looking out at the magnificent Atlantic Ocean, dreaming of the tasty fish in it." The fishermen had brought in great quantities of lobster, tantalizing fish. "Sure, already sold to the hotels," you said. They were just about to fling a load of eels back when Camille shouted, wait, please, may I buy those sand eels?" "That would be one man, Papa. I often had eels for tea, and I nurse in England. You ate slippery eels. We'll take as many as you like before we throw them back." She slung 3 eels across her shoulder, tangling in her snoot, and slimily slapping against her back. Island children followed after her, cheering, "Stinking eels! Of all the slimy bit fishes that swim about the sand, the herring and the mackerel, the pollock, eels and ray, they will be found, a little after dark, a scratching of their backs along the rocks of in a shack." And that's our dear Camille. We were delighted to be part of the Bohemian Dublin artist scene, you can tell. We loved doing the coffee shops beat, where you could find the musicians, artists, literati, quaffing away, writing their masterpieces in mules and in assorted tea shops and cafes. The Coffee Inn boasted the most eccentrics of all, with the least wherewithal to pay for the coffee, spinning out the most amount of time, and hardly ever told to move on. Jazz musician Hadi was the most famous coffee inmate, as he liked to call himself. If we needed him to play jazz for a Trinity review that John was guest starring in, or for the Wexford Festival or the Edinburgh Fringe, we could find Hadi there, attired in brown corduroys, his Trinity scarf damping. Rather a scruffy musician, Hadi was never seen to be clean-shaven, sporting not a beard or moustache, just hair, long before the music. We used to wonder whether Hadi might look pretty handsome under all that overcoat. What a lack of concern for the finesse of grooming for the stage. Hadi's eyes were glazed brown, with a secret twinkle over some inner musical delight in how his jazz chords were developing. He would scribble notes hieroglyphically on the back of players' cigarette packs, on Coffee Inn serviettes, or loo paper. Hadi always seemed to be available at the Coffee Inn, hunched over an eternal cup of coffee dregs, with a butt of a bag in his hand. He'd be delighted when you'd order a refill for him, but angry when we'd interrupt his creative genius, and he'd give out yads, especially about Molloy. Molloy, I can't do Hadi's voice, John could so. Molloy is critical of the music orders, prefers ballads in his reviews, when of all people in town, Molloy is an absolute musical illiterate. Hasn't a note, can't read a note, wouldn't know a diminished fifth from his own augmented opinion of himself. Musical Egypt. And he expects me to tickle the ivories for his reviews, be decked in a posh tuxedo, when if I had my way, I'd never get out of corduroys. Molloy was so enchanted with the eccentricities of Hoddy, he often included a wicked takeoff of Hoddy as one of his most popular acts in our gay theatre reviews. Hoddy was being used, but not amused, friend. You found me, friend. Yes, the coffee inn is my musical office, my port in a storm. I'm the ultimate coffee inmate. But I just had a dreadful day, friend. Living as I am in an unfurnished coal hole in Waterloo Road, and being temporarily unemployed, rather resting from my playing for Milo and Carolyn and Alan at the Black Theatre Club, I needn't tell you, friend, I was in the habit of dodging my hairpin of a landlady, who had unhappy habit of looking for her rent. I was dealing with my local grocer, who sells unlabeled tins of a brown goo, otherwise known as soup, at 9 pence a go. Today I was down to my last. As I opened the tin, I held my breath. I was looking forward to its yielding a gourmet item, such as oxtail or mulligatawny soup, when what do you think I was greeted with? Stewed rhubarb. I just had a dreadful day. Another dreadful day, avoiding the dreaded landlady, who must have a rent. I needn't tell you. Me digs did not lend itself to me practicing my trumpet. I could neither write my music nor practice my bugle call rag there, with the result that the lip is gone, friend. Thus, sadly, I no longer play the trumpet professionally. Last time I remember playing was during the war, walking home after a late night gig, the trumpet under the arm, and I passing Marion Strand. Ah, it was a brilliant night, friend, with a full moon splitting the stern, says I to myself. Wouldn't this be an ideal place to practice the bugle call rag? I was getting in me stride, friend. The lip was a right one. There was a grand echo from out at sea, only beautiful. And suddenly, searchlights lit up me face, and I was arrested for signaling German U-boats. Dreadful day, friend. Needn't tell you, having practiced there since. This is called The Lumps, The Fouls, and The Master Match. How the Dubliners came to be, as I me love stone keeps fading away. Ronnie's rasping voice echoed at a party in our views. He'd been playing guitar, duets with Aaron, and spots in our shows in the Gates Theatre. The idea came into our heads. Why not have Ronnie sing Dublin ballads between Molloy's characterizations in his new review, There You Have? We got the idea in Dunhurst. So the first of the lumps was Ronnie. He came to rehearse with his master mag carrying his guitar. A master mag was a motto like Mary Magdalene, perfectly, sublimely delirious, to be following, blue-eyed, blue-black hair, balladeer Ronnie, mighty spirit Ronnie, round Dublin like a slave, doing his every whimsical wish, with the forlorn hope on her pudding face that she would one day be his #1 lady love, and everyone knew. Fat chance. Ask Ronnie himself, I'm sure he's only me master man, me willing slave of that. I'm waiting for a killer lewd, definitely. What's a killer lewd, we might ask? Killer lewd would be a woman who's a killer to all men, a blind. I am completely quelled by killer lewds, but wait till I stop at the gate. For now I must content myself with master mags and paddles. We never saw the unfortunate girl again. For Ronnie's success was instant, singing Dublin street ballads in the professional theatre. Overnight, he was a master stroke worker, sporting various killer loops, but they didn't carry his guitar. I no longer fear the killer loops. It's only their mighty mogul fathers I do feel. I'm completely quelled by them. They make me feel like a mere lump again, always asking, their tongues in the vest of their three-piece suit, and just what are your prospects, my good man?